everyone. It's great to be with you again. And today we are going to talk about some learning in how, as a team coach, in a very unique way, you can meet the team where they're at. So most of us know about this concept. It's not for us to determine where a team should be in their journey or where they should get to in a journey. And I think there's something around teams starting challenging work and us together realizing that maybe it's not entirely ready for them to go there. Of course, as a team coach, it's not your responsibility to note that, but usually it comes up in a conversation. It's something that is discovered and agreed together. So the example that I'd like to bring forward here is a few experiences where a team deliberately wanted to work on their culture or their relationship together, knowing that there's some challenges there, and realizing during the journey that for several reasons, the team just isn't ready to go there. So that might be because it's too much for them for whatever reason, or there isn't sufficient skill in the room for them to be able to deal with it effectively or to hold what is going on. There isn't a sufficient degree of intimacy between them to be able to open up and to really share what's going on for them. And I've also had a few examples where sometimes the structure of how the leaders work doesn't give them enough time between the sessions to actually work together, collaborate, connect, and actually act on the relationship to build it. So it kind of makes the journey of the team coaching less effective and more strenuous. So instead of kind of getting stuck with this or laboring through it, what I've found is it's sometimes useful just to meet them where they're at. Teams always have challenges, they always have problems. So instead of focusing on the cultural issues, it might be useful to focus on, and if you know the integral model, to focus on not the left-hand side, but the right-hand side. So that might be some structural challenges or some operational, tactical issues, or planning, or whatever the challenge is. But then what you do is while you are working with them, while they're focusing on that, you're focusing on what's happening in the relationship. So Antoinette, what are your thoughts around this? What are your experiences around this?
Willem, as you were talking, it actually reminds me of when in a facilitated session we get into the groan zone. Okay, so now we are down to the nitty-gritty. So this is it. This is what we need to change. And personal change is very hard, and sometimes we are ready for it, and we've got the energy for it, and then some other times we don't. We're just not in a good place, or there's a lot else going on in our lives, and work needs to be done anyway. And whatever is going on in the team will come out when we do, work. So really, what we are giving is it feels to the team that there's a reprieve. Okay, we're focusing on something else. We're focusing on some work that needs to get done, some tangible stuff that doesn't really have a lot of emotion in it, we think. And they get a reprieve. They can breathe a little bit and they can focus on it. And we kind of take our foot off the pedal. Seemingly, we take our foot off the pedal of working deeply into that team challenge. And whilst we do it, though, we're still working on it. So it just it gives people a little bit of a breather. It feels like it's not that intense. And at the same time, we as coaches still hold it so that it doesn't just dissipate, because that's very much the point. If we talk edge theory, that's very much the point where change happens for the team. So we don't want to let go of it. We want to keep our focus there, but by focusing on solving a more easier problem or more tangible problem, there's the feeling of slight relief and slight space for it, just like a for a little while, whilst without, or not whilst, without letting go of what's really going on and without stepping back from the real challenge.
Mm.
So in my experience as well, that very often gives people the energy then to dive back into the deeper issue of what's happening in their relationship, what needs to change between them and in every single one of them. So
Yeah. So I guess an analogy for this would be, taking a team or working with a team to go up a mountain. And you could take the direct path, which they might not be prepared for. And there could be another path, which is a little bit of a round way. And obviously, our job as coaches are to contract and continue to recontract around what this looks like and what they want and how we can align on this. And because something that can break trust is if they think, okay, we're now going to work on the tactical stuff, but then you bring their emotional stuff back. And so it needs to be clear that, okay, a different way to maybe deal with emotional stuff is to take something that you have to work with as a team and let's see what actually comes up in the relationship and we deal it as we go, but we're still focusing on the technical things. So like you said, Antoinette, it could make it easier for them. Is that enough for now?
yes, one last thought. It
Yeah.
also gives you, the coach, it gives you something to do. Is a big challenge for us sometimes in sitting back completely and just holding the space. So so I can convince my doing brain that I'm doing something,
Mm.
whilst I'm holding the space for them to to do other work, because the issue is going to be there no matter, no matter what we busy doing, the issue will be there. So
Yeah. Cool.
cool.
So thank you, everyone. We wish you a wonderful, wonderful Friday and hope that the end of the year treats you kindly. Cheers.